Hi, today I'm going to be comparing art supplies that have been rated extremely low, and I'm going to compare those to art supplies that are 5-star and perfectly rated. And I'm going to find out just how bad 1-star art supplies really are. Okay, on some real talk, I'm going to be completely honest here. At this point in the video, I have already filmed the entire thing. I've already tested out all the art supplies and done both drawings. And normally I would never tell you the results in the beginning of the video. But guys, I feel like the art supplies are so bad, I need to put a disclaimer in the beginning of this video. The following art supplies that you're about to see, they're so bad. Some arrived completely unusable. Some are not even the same supplies I ordered. And my personal favorite, art supplies that I am genuinely terrified for my health to use. So now that you know what you're in for, sit back, grab a snack, relax, and let's get into the 1-star art supplies. All right, so first up, I will be creating an acrylic painting. And of course, the very first thing that I'm gonna need for my acrylic painting is canvas. And the 1-star canvas that I found is by the brand Tensure, which is a brand I've never heard of. It's a pack of 6x6-inch canvases. And the very first review on these bad boys is, don't waste your time, these are absolute junk. So we're off to a good start. According to the reviews, they all completely warped before you even paint on them. They should not even bother selling them. These are like 2 pieces of cheap classroom project board glued together and cut into little pieces. They are peeling apart right out of the pack. Do not buy them. So of course I bought them. So here they are in all of their glory. And right off the bat, look how wonky these are. I literally just opened these seconds ago. Look how wonky they are. Oh god, now that I'm touching it, this isn't even canvas. This is literally thick poster board with like an imprinted texture that mimics canvas. Am I going crazy here? This is literally cardboard with a texture on it. This canvas is such bad quality that it makes a Dollar Tree canvas looks like it's amazing quality. At least the Dollar Tree one has its own backing and it's on a board. Meanwhile, the other one's literally just cardboard. In stark comparison, we have the 5-star one. This canvas, you guys, is so fancy. Allow me to introduce you to Blick's Premier Canvas. This little canvas alone has 4 ounces of the best primer available. It's made with top quality cotton. It's been hand primed not once, not twice, but 3 separate times. It's made with solid wood that's been kiln dried. And of course, it's designed with maximum archival status, meaning that this canvas will last hundreds of years. Back in college, we used to have to make our own canvases for the class. And let me tell you guys, it is so difficult to get your canvas to be super tight on the board, but this one is pure perfection. Just listen to it. So yeah, that's our very first art supply, is like literally one of the best canvases that I personally have ever felt in my entire art career versus a piece of cardboard. The next thing that I'm gonna need to create my painting is something to sketch out my drawing onto the actual canvas. And normally whenever I do this, I would use a pencil, but I feel like pencils are kind of boring. So I thought it would be fun to check out the 1-star crayons instead. And boy, oh boy, did I get some 1-star crayons. The low-rated crayons that I found are by the brand Extra. And the reviews for this crayon, they're all really low, but it doesn't get into the nitty-gritty of what's wrong with them. They kind of read of just like vague warnings. This one says, not what is advertised in the picture. Buyer beware. If they had a picture of what I actually got on the site, I wouldn't have bought them. And I know that seems kind of like hyper specific, but he's not the only person who said that. There was other people who were complaining that these crayons are nothing like what's advertised. I have no idea what I'm about to get myself into. And here they are. So these are a 2-pack. They come with 8 colors each. And the packaging is literally nothing like what the advertisement showed. It's not even the same brand. Okay, so not only is the outside packaging not similar to what they showed, but the actual crayon packaging itself is also not similar to what they showed. I thought it was gonna be a straight up crayon knockoff, but clearly that is not the case.
This is a completely different crayon, babes.
When I looked on Amazon, there were so many different options of like highly rated crayons that I could pick through, but I feel like there's one crayon brand that is just absolutely the greatest of all time. They're the best-selling crayon of all time. Everybody's used them, everybody likes them, and that of course is the one, the only Crayola crayon. It's rated a perfect 5 stars. They come in all different types of varieties. They're pretty cheap still. They're good and trusty. I mean, what are you gonna do? It's like the Honda of art supplies. So here are the low-rated crayons in all of their knockoff glory. And here is the one and only Crayola. You know, for as sketchy as these are actually not that bad of crayons. I mean, yeah, they're a little bit more waxier than Crayola. They probably use a different type of wax, but I would say that the pigment is pretty much the exact same. I'm feeling a little bit more positive right now. These crayons might just be the underdog of this video. All right, the next item that I'm gonna need to create my artwork is underwear. And I'm not even kidding. Today's video is sponsored by the Fits Everybody collection by Skims. And this collection has it all, baby. Stretchy and buttery soft, check. Feels like nothing on your skin, check. Has a giant size range from XXS to 4XL, check. Comes in a huge variety of colors, check, check, check. I got the Fits Everybody Racerback Bralette and Boy Short in Onyx, of course. Literally the only color I wear. And the material is so soft and silky, it really does feel like butter on the skin. And as a lady who has a larger chest, I like the fact that it doesn't dig into my shoulders, which that alone, award of the year. It provides critical support while still being comfortable. And as you're about to see, I'm gonna be wearing it the entire time I'm drawing and most likely hunched over like an actual gremlin, and I'll still be comfy. And if you want to experience the comfort and quality of the Fits Everybody collection, click the link in the description box down below. And as you place an order, there's gonna be a little survey with a little scroll down menu, and select my channel to let them know I sent you. It helps me and my channel so much. Thank you to Skims for sponsoring this video, and this brings me to the next art supply. Next up, we have the star of the show. And for the acrylic paint, I actually had to order two because the first one that I got arrived completely dried up. This is what they're supposed to look like, full of paint and obviously still wet. But I don't know, these all arrived dry and empty for some reason. Maybe this one is okay, but all of these are dry. And you know what? I had a suspicion whenever I bought it because the reviews all said that exact same thing, that whenever they bought this item, it arrived completely dried up. So that debacle led me to emergency ordering the second one. These paints are by the brand Micro Slim. And even though at first glance this does have a 4-star rating, whenever you dive a little bit deeper into the iceberg, the reviews tell a completely different story. I tried using them for a painting and it could barely cover the pencil sketch underneath it. These are the tiniest tubes of paint possible. This is below dollar store quality and way more expensive. And if you look at other reviews, people were complaining about the exact same thing, that these paints are worse quality than Dollar Tree paint. And if you've been watching my channel for a while, you guys know I have beef with dollar store paint. And somehow that paint is gonna be better quality than what you're about to see. God help us all. So here they are. They come with 12 colors. And even though that one review said that these are the smallest paints on earth, I have to thoroughly disagree because the smallest paints in the world are the ones that I tried last video from China, and they came in like the tiniest bottle known to man. Yeah, these got nothing on Marie's Art Supplies. So let's see if it's true that these paints are so unpigmented that they don't even cover up a pencil sketch. And let's see if this blue paint is strong enough to cover it up. Yeah, no, not even close. So that means that this paint that I got is gonna be terrible quality and it's gonna be hard to draw with and I'm gonna be struggling with it for 2 hours. Ugh. Now for the good ones, we have quite a treat. I just want to say it right now. Zach, I know we got married, but I think if I had to get married again, I would get married to these paints. These are the Winsor & Newton Galleria acrylic paints. They come with 10 tubes. They're amazing quality. It's very thin. It's easy to work with. I would say that it's beginner friendly. The light fastness of this is amazing, meaning that it'll last you like hundreds of years. And in my opinion, they're a very reasonable price, coming in around $30. Okay, so here is the eyeball, and I'm gonna go over it a bunch of times to like really thin out the layer, just like I did the other one. Boom. So yeah, this is with one single swatch. You can see just how different the opacity is. Like, do you see what I mean when I like these paints? They're so ergonomical. They're cheap, they're good quality. I mean, what else can you want? Now, obviously, since I am going to be painting, I'm gonna need some paintbrushes. These are by the brand Charles Leonard. They're rated 3.7 stars, but of course, the reviews tell a different story. Apparently, the main problem with these is that the bristles start falling apart literally within the first use of using these brushes. And even one of the more like mild reviews says it's okay, not the best, but it did its job. And because the brushes are kind of giant, I also picked up these brushes here for finer details. Apparently they're really bad and people had to throw them away after one use. Okay, so here they are, and the very first thing that I'm noticing about these brushes is look how immensely wiry this brush is. This brush looks like it had a hard night out. And right now, these brushes are kind of giving me like a sensory ick because they're so wiry and crunchy. And apparently, just showing you guys the brushes, there's already hairs falling off. And I haven't even used these yet. And then we have the complete opposite of those brushes. These are one of the highest rated brushes on Amazon. They're by the brand Artistic. And whenever you look at reviews for these brushes, the 5-star reviews just go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Even though there was tons of options for like 5-star brushes, the reason I got these, besides the fact that they were a reasonable price, is that I am obsessed with the color of these brushes. It's like a pure monochromatic gray. Ugh, it is so cool. Now I just want you firsthand to look at these two brushes side by side. Look at the handle, look at the brush quality. Do I even need to verbalize the comparison? So here is the 5-star rated brush. As you can see, it gives off super crisp and clean lines. And then here, unfortunately, is the wire brush. I'm getting such a sensory ick from these. Like, just the noise of this wire brush scraping against the paper is just so unpleasant. As you can see from the swatch, the low-rated brush is almost so bad that it's almost unusable. Alright, so now that I'm all nice and cozy and I have all the art supplies ready to go, unpacked and reviewed, let's get into the first artwork. Wow. So I just got done painting both of the paintings, and to be quite honest with you, I don't even want to show you the bad one. It is so bad, but I know I have to show you guys. So here is the 5-star rated art supply. I painted a little ladybug. And then here, regrettably, is the low rated painting. I'm not exaggerating when I say I hated every single art supply that I used to make this painting. I wouldn't even describe the paint as paint. It was more like colored liquid gel that I had to scrape on a piece of cardboard. The brushes were very difficult to use. I couldn't get any detail. And all around, this drawing was very unpleasant to make. And of course, the opposite is said with the 5-star one. I had a great time painting it. I love the brushes so much. I was able to get in really crisp, precise, little tiny areas. And I loved every single art supply that I used. And the comparison of the two is just so dramatically different. It's insane. So now that I've finished my paintings, I'm not done yet. This leads me to the second art that I'm about to do, and that is a colored pencil drawing. And of course, the very first thing that I'm gonna need for said colored pencil drawing is a sketchbook. I found this brand called Tavaloza, and apparently there's all kinds of things wrong with this sketchbook. People say the paper is wrinkly and yellow, the quality isn't good. Some people have glue all over their pages, and most of all, people hate the front sticker that is completely unremovable from the sketchbook. Okay, so here it is. This is like comically large. So looking through the giant pages, I'm not seeing any yellowing of the pages. The paper itself isn't super thin. It feels like good quality drawing paper. But yeah, I honestly... Oh, wait a second. Just like the review said, there's glue on this. Oh God, wait a second.
There's a lot of glue.
I guess during the manufacturing process of the book, the glue seeped into the pages. And given it's not on every page, but it's enough to be like, dude, what the heck? Now, in comparison to that, we have the 5-star book. And this sketchbook, my friends, is one of my favorite sketchbooks of all time. Coming in with a perfect 5-star rating, we have the one, the only Strathmore sketchbook. Now, where do I even begin with this sketchbook? It has been with me since day one. I've created some of my favorite drawings with it. It's one of the only sketchbooks I'll use for colored pencils. It's not bad in price. I could go on about this sketchbook, but I've talked about it so much. I think later in the video, you'll see that it speaks for itself. The next item that I am gonna need is colored pencils. And for this one, I am genuinely afraid for my health. Let me explain. These colored pencils are by the brand Fen May. And according to the reviews, there's some pretty sketchy stuff going going on. A major concern I have is the strong chemically smell. I am unsure if it's the plastic trays or the pencils. I definitely wouldn't give these to children, and I would use them in a well-ventilated place. And the scary thing is that it's not just one person who's complaining about the smell. Many people have complained about these pencils having a sketchy smell to them. And when you look deeper into the reviews, it's not just these pencils stink. Allegedly, these pencils are giving people headaches, triggering asthma attacks. People are throwing them away. People are claiming that it feels unhealthy to breathe these pencils in. So here it is. So as you can see, the colored pencils are in a trash bag. And the reason it's inside of a trash bag is because the reviews were right. So basically last night I was like looking through all the art supplies, doing some B-roll and just making sure that everything arrived okay. And when I opened up these colored pencils and unwrapped them, I got hit with this huge whiff of just like this nasty chemically smell. And immediately it smelled horrible. I started coughing and it kind of smelled similar to a mixture of like very strong paint thinner, burnt rubber, and the smell of freshly installed carpets. It was very irritating to my lungs. It stunk up the whole room, and then immediately after I got a huge migraine and I just had to kind of rest for the night. I don't feel comfortable using those pencils. I'm gonna write Amazon and let them know, but I don't know how effective that will be, and I do not want anybody watching this to buy those pencils. But I ended up just tossing them, and I actually did buy a replacement after reading the reviews because I kind of had a feeling that this might happen again. These are by the brand Clips USA, and I'm not gonna lie, the packaging is giving graphic design is my passion. The review for these pencils mostly just complained that the quality was low and that the pigment just basically doesn't show up no matter how hard you press. But the packaging does say that it's high quality, so I do want to see the difference between these ones and the 5-star ones. For the 5-star colored pencils, I think absolutely nobody is going to be shocked when they hear what they were. These, my friends, are another art supply that I love with all my heart. These pencils have been with me since literal day one. Coming in at a perfect 5-star, we have the one, the only Prismacolor Premier colored pencils. I specifically chose Prismacolor Premier colored pencils because in the United States, they're not too bad in price. You can get a pretty good set under $30. I love the pigment on these, and I just feel like no matter what, I can always trust these pencils. All right, so here is a swatch of Prismacolor Premier, and here's what it looks like blended. Just perfection. We love her, we stan. And now let me try the Eclipse pencils. I'm gonna use the exact same colors, I'm gonna use the exact same pressure, and I'm gonna try my best to blend them out. Oh God, it literally already broke. It already broke. That was literally like half a second. Okay, so I just got done sharpening it. Let me try it again. Oh my God, it just broke again. That is so annoying. Okay, let me try it a third time. Third time's a charm. And I guess I'll be very light-handed this time. Okay, so here's what the swatches look like compared to each other. And man, is there quite the difference there. Not only is the pigment terrible, but the pencils themselves were very scratchy and they kept breaking. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of scared because I know that I'm gonna be struggling so much when it comes to trying to make artwork with these. Pray for me. All right, so I just finished up the drawings and I think the low-rated one turned out a little bit better than the last one, but
It's still pretty bad.
So first up, here is the 5-star highly rated colored pencil drawing. I love the art supplies that I got to use. I'm so comfortable with colored pencils. And in direct comparison to that, we have the 5-star one. This one, just like the last one, I hated literally every single art supply that I used. The colored pencils were super crumbly, which was really weird. They were like falling apart as I was drawing. The pigment of the black colored pencil was so unpigmented. It almost looks like a gray spider instead of a black one. So just like the last artwork, I struggled more with the low-rated one than I did the 5-star one. And when you look at these two drawings side by side, I don't think there's any comparison. I mean, is there even a competition here? I think the art supplies and how they work really speaks for themselves. Well guys, there you go. That was me comparing low-rated art supplies to high-rated art supplies. And a little Easter egg throughout this video is that the entire time I was wearing Skims. So yeah, don't forget to check them out. They made this whole video possible, and I'll leave the link in the description box down below. And with that being said, guys, happy drawing, and I'll see you guys next video. Bye.